That'll piss them off. Oh, you gotta love me for me. No, dude. It's actually more red-pilled overseas. Nobody would take them seriously. That's it. All right, started off with some passport bros. Let's see what we got.
Hi folks, the Filipina P here. And several months ago, I did a video about the way some Western women were attacking and insulting men who realized the relationship game in their home countries had become totally unwinnable, causing them to look for partners in other lands. This group of men, known as the Passport Bros, have recently become the talk of the town, whether it's to degrade them or to sympathize with their mission. In my video, I wasn't nasty to the women at all, and I used humor to poke holes in their objections. But the reaction was swift and brutal, and it looks like I might have had a hand in accidentally starting an international war between Western women and us Asian women. For several months now, the accusations and insults have been flying fast and furious back and forth across the Pacific, with other Filipinas getting into the action in social media. The topic has become so hot, in fact, that just last week, I was asked for an interview by one of the largest TV networks in the Philippines. But so far, I've remained silent until now. It's one thing to attack your own men, the ones who've chosen to leave. Of course you have the right to your opinions, just as I have the right to respond with my own. But when you go insulting us Filipinas, then your accusations warrant a response. And here's my response.
Shout out to Filipina P. Give her subs, guys.
Let's dive right in.
And if you can, let me put this up on the chat too, by the way. Go to this channel on Discord. Go to this channel on Discord if you have video or article recommendations for the stream, please. You have to have Discord downloaded. Am I planning to visit the Philippines for vacation? Sure.
First, let's deal with your claim that we Filipinas are somehow lacking in language skills.
Colombia, yes. The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English.
I just have one question. When was the last time you went to the Philippines? Or have you been to the Philippines? Have you also spoken to actual people from the Philippines in terms of speaking the English language? You gotta really check on what is current. I don't know where you're getting your statistics.
And you say we're not very good with reading, writing, and arithmetic neither.
Women that don't have education.
Excuse me? For your information, we have stricter education and school system than the United States. So actually, Filipinos are multilingual, English.
Not only multilingual, but probably better educated overall and more common sense curriculums out there in different parts of the world versus what they're getting indoctrinated with out here. Essentially, the femme supreme queen message that they get, that they don't need a man, that they should just duck their heads down and work until they're dead. That's a very convenient position to take, especially if you're some men in black suits type of dudes who benefits from enslaving people so they have to work the rest of their lives. And then you destroy the family in the process, and then you get to mind control their kids too while you're at it, and create an endless cycle of broken families and people to taxed to death from the cradle to the grave, baby.
English is our second language, and we speak 150 dialects in my country. We have English subject from nursery till college. That's always part of our curriculum. It's not foreign women's fault if American men fall for them instead of you. You must understand, like us Filipino, we are naturally sweet. We are naturally like that, okay? And that's what they like about us because we are just sweet. Understanding, caring. It's not because we are submissive. We're not submissive. You ask my husband that, he will tell you I'm not submissive.
So when you say those things about us Filipinas, how do you think that makes us feel?
Don't tell us that we are uneducated. That I've been able to take care of my family. I became a breadwinner at the same time, a homemaker. But I am as educated as you are. I graduated cum laude and I am a teacher. And so it hurt me a lot when you're saying that people in Asia are uneducated, they are submissive. In fact, I am as empowered as you are.
You tell them, sister. And now we get to the videos that managed to attack the Passport Bros while insulting us Filipinas too.
When you go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or Eastern Europe or wherever these places are that are overseas, I'm assuming you mean they're more biddable, that they're less outspoken, they don't demand anything of you, that they're just happy to be rescued from their...
I love it when they say they don't demand anything of you. You mean like a Western woman literally has no demands whatsoever of a man, will go over for a hookah and chill and give her body away for free without asking for commitment or anything in general. You know, the women in Eastern Europe and the Far East ask men for hands in marriage, for commitment. You got to meet the father. You got to get vetted by the family. That is far more demands. You have to make a certain amount. Unless you got to love me for me. No, dude. It's actually more red-pilled overseas. You got to be a man first to even have a chance to talk with somebody's daughter. They demand less of you. Yeah, you mean like 6 kids and taking care of their family and being a good father and providing for the rest of your life. That's so much less than a hookah and chill. But I have a degree. I went to school and accumulated 100,000 in debt. I'm empowered.
Their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity, and in return, all they have to do is subject themselves to your advances. I do wonder at your motivation for why you want to go overseas to find a partner. Is it because you prefer your woman without opinions, unable to fight back, and vulnerable?
Yeah, you got me. I'm one of those overseas women who doesn't have an opinion in my little head. And I'll put up with your advances if only you'll rescue me from my life of poverty. Please, sir, I want some more.
These passport predators are the bottom of the barrel.
Calm down, sis. Again, can I just say, because she says it, passport bros are bottom of the barrel. The video should just end there. Ladies, why are we giving airtime to bums, to dusties? Why are we even talking about it? Why do they live rent-free in our head? For somebody that is so low on the sexual attraction scale that you don't have the time of day for them in the West, and ew, creep, get away from me, don't talk to me, you sure do talk about these men as often as you can. So wild. Here, let's find out why this 10 out of 10 strong boss babe deserves you to pay for everything, and you got to make 600,000 or more a year and treat her like a princess. Let's see what she's got to say.
And the reason they're going overseas to get women is because we don't want them. And they know if they go overseas, they're more likely to find a woman who will do whatever it takes to secure a better life for her family.
They're dusty anyway. Why matter?
We don't want them. And we appreciate you guys taking out the trash for us.
You're welcome, lady. No problem. But what is the problem is that you're implying that we sell ourselves to do whatever it takes to be with a man that disgusts us.
Why do these people react in their cars most of the time? Because they're broke. And if you saw the dilapidated walls and the paint from where they live and all the crap and shit on the ground they don't pick up, nobody would take them seriously. So you just gotta literally shoot with a car seat in view. It's really what it is.
Are you calling us what I think you're calling us?
Passport pros are people who specifically go from...
Just look, man. There's a face. There's a type and there's a face. You see what I mean? And she's got like filters on and shit. There's a type and a face. Do you think any sane man making any amount of money with any sense of self-worth would take a second glance after he sees the green hair?
From country to country to country, trying to find women, exotic flavors, to dabble in, right? Passport bros are like, oh man, I can't find any good women in the States, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else in the world.
And I want you guys to know that there are heavy filters on here. Look, you can tell here, she has an eye filter on because she's insecure about her peasant eyes. She's insecure about her non-existent eyelashes. She had to come here. Imagine you have to talk shit on a group of men that have the money to go overseas, by the way, which a majority of them make 100,000 or more. So if the Dusties are making 100,000 or more, the vast majority of those men that go overseas, what are you? You mean the Dusties are six fig boys living overseas, and she has to come on here and talk shit with filters on to feel comfortable about what she's got to say. Wild, dude.
Like women are inherently different in every other country. It really starts becoming weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced.
That is not Dracula's wife. Don't disrespect Dracula. As a Romanian, he has 3 baller 10 out of 10s. He would not waste a second even sucking the blood off of this pre-diabetic.
As ours. And a lot of these women are desperate, so they're going to take you up on that offer, right? They want someone who is going to be submissive to them. And what better way to find someone who's submissive to them than to find a woman who is at your beck and call? Because, you know, the only reason she's in the United States is because of you. Sounds to me like a lot of control issue.
right? And to be honest, ladies, these aren't the type of men that we want anyway, right? These men want a woman that they can control. And because they can't find it here in America because it's frowned upon to like own a human here, they go to other places in the world where they can legally own a human.
Well, I thought I'd heard it all, but I just found out that the Philippines has legalized slavery. I wonder how much I could get if I put on a little makeup. And once again, Filipinos are depicted as desperate, submissive, and at a man's beck and call. Do you have any clue how insulting that is? But at least you consider us adults, unlike these next women.
Clearly, underage girls.
Do y'all realize when y'all make comments on videos like how women are just jealous when we're talking about minors, meaning children, that y'all are basically telling the world what you've done or want to do? Mostly, I'm pretty sure a lot of you did. This is why I tell everybody a man will do what he do to your 13-year-old or a 13-year-old if he know he can get away with it. Why would you think a woman would be jealous of a child? You stupid, nasty fool.
So now
instead of making TikToks, you should be watching your kids. I don't know. Maybe stop throwing a tablet in their face so that they can get brainwashed and repeat the cycle of broken homes. I think you have bigger things to worry about than what some men going overseas are doing. Fool. Go look after your kid.
A passport bro is somehow a pedophile who's just looking to do what he do with a 13-year-old. Well, I don't know why you think we're underage, but we can't exactly help the fact that we look a lot younger than you think we should. And apparently, you're not alone.
This whole passport bros.
And pause. Look, let me put this up on the screen for you guys, just so you can see the dusties. Check this out. Only 1/3 of Americans have a valid passport, right? And of the 1/3 of Americans that have a valid passport, guys, 2/3 of Americans, 64% with a household income above $100,000 have a valid passport. You hear that? This is why they're mad. These are the quote dusties. It's just name calling. They're extremely angry that high income earning men are the ones that have the ability to leave and are starting to leave. So what's really left here are actual dusties that they have to contend with. There you go.
Movement is evidence to me that in the end, the trash usually takes itself out. Like the creepiest, strangest, and most annoying of men are deciding to leave the country and pursue children in developing countries instead of bothering us. And I'm not mad at it, but I think it's funny that they think we're mad about it. Go ahead, get your passport and leave too, because clearly nobody in America wants you.
Okay, it's bad enough that you call the passport bros creepy, annoying, and strange. But the fact that you aren't even bothered if they pursue children says a lot about your priorities. And thanks for implying that men can just come over here and hang around with children. You may not know this, but the Philippines takes that kind of thing very seriously. If a man is even seen with an underage child, he's immediately reported and investigated. Oh, wait a sec. I forgot. We're too uneducated and submissive to say anything about it. Carry on.
Passport.
Oh God, here goes another look. Hey, look, the face is very soft and round. It's got some heft to it, you know? Some bowling ball weight. A lot of sugar, a lot of sweet blood Dracula wouldn't want, some pre-diabetes flowing through there, some medication on the horizon. Black Terran, thanks, bro. The women who hate on passport bros are usually just projecting based on the men that they've been involved with, almost as if they're talking to their ex. Yeah, they're talking about all the men they've dated. Kevin Samuels used to nickname them Pookie and Ray Rays, the street dudes. Basically bums with no jobs, nothing going for them, borrows their car, just dicks them down for shelter, you know? They get A1 pipe for shelter, and that's it. I mean, dude, if you have any sense of significant, like, income, and you're able to be remote or move around or take vacations, and you've traveled the world or about to, you're not going to want to settle down with pre-diabetics. Look, tattoo right here. Tat it up, baby.
Passport bros are real. They're saying they go into other countries to find more submissive women. No. Which means they are strategically picking countries that are stereotyped for having very relaxed, if any, rules around these two things. So they're going to other countries not to find submissive wives, but to find women and girls that they Yeah, nah.
They're stuck on that word submissive, and men need to even stop using it because it's been tainted so much. Compliant is what you probably want to say. Teamwork. A feminine woman with values. Say that instead because they can't really knock a values, feminine values. Feminine values can stand for exactly what you meant to say. Submission, wants kids, wants to cook and clean. Just call that feminine values. That's it. A feminine woman. That'll piss them off so much more. Cooperative. Perfect. Exactly. I just want a feminine woman. Women in the West aren't feminine. It's very vague, and it automatically hits them in the low, it gives them like a low blow below the belt. They're going to be pissed. What do you mean I'm not feminine? Blah, blah, blah. And literally show their masculine sign right there.
Sure, lady, there are no laws about domestic violence here. Our husbands can beat us all they want. And we're so submissive and desperate that all we can say is, please, sir, I want some more. So the implication is that men come here for the purpose of targeting women and girls. There's that pedo thing again. Just so they can physically abuse us. Do you have any evidence of that? Or does it just feel so good to say it? But what about the claim that it's all about money?
I literally have all the money in the world, but can't.
My God, dude. What the
Oh, hell no. Oh, my God.
You can have all the money in the world, but there's one thing you can't fix, sis. And attraction is non-negotiable. That's why you can't keep on to a man.
Man, I've been in that struggle. And I've thought to myself, should I go to another country to find a man? Should I go to a different place? Is it just New York City? Should I go to a different part of the country?
There is one answer for these kinds of women. There really is. You have to get yourself a naive boy toy that's basically a little femboy that's okay with essentially being your sugar baby and you taking care of him in exchange for D. I mean, you got to go the sugar route lifestyle. You got to support your little boy toy. That's it. That's it. And even then it doesn't last because he's going to grow into a man and he'll be 30 at one point and your ass is going to be 50 something, 60 something. That money just doesn't go that far. He's rolling deep in dough. You built him up and now he's going to trade you in for something half the age. It's inevitable. You can only rent boy toys out. You can't lock them down.
Where can I find this man for me? What is very different about me, though, and in my situation that distinguishes me from a passport bro, is that A, I have a lot of money. So I'm not going to Thailand to prey on young boys who have no money. I'm not saying, oh, let me go to some developing country, somebody who's not privileged, and prey upon their young boys. I'm not doing that. When I thought about traveling to different places, I thought about going to luxury spots, like going to nice places and meeting people at a similar socioeconomic status, similar situation, people that are doing well, people that can understand what it's like to date a woman with means. I think that is why there's such a disdain, and certainly I feel this, a disdain towards passport bros, is because they're not playing on an even playing field. They're not saying, oh, let me go to San Diego and go to the nicest, country clubs and let me go and meet somebody. No. These people are saying, wow, people here don't respect me because I'm literally not doing well. And I have to go to a country where people are living on less than.
She clearly doesn't see the delusion that surrounds the average woman today in the dating market. I mean, Courtney Ryan has highlighted this plenty of times. How much do you think a man should earn? How much should your man earn? They want a goddamn Pagani BC, bro. They want you to make 600 plus millis a year. That man is 0.1% of the population.
A Pagani BC.
Yeah, you're not going to get that. That's an average small town chick that has insane goals for the woman or for the man that she's looking for. These guys don't exist. You got to be 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6 pack, 6-inch pipe, 7-figure net worth minimum. Bro, those guys, 1 in thousands, hundreds of thousands. And when she comes across a man of that kind of value, she's in line. The line goes all the way around the goddamn moon. You're not going to lock a guy like that down. He's exercising all his options in the dating market today, which is essentially pumping and dumping left and right. That's why they make videos crying all the time on TikTok, because the one guy that they want, the one guy that got away, their women are getting alpha widowed at a rate unseen in all of history today. This is why they're so broken when it comes to dating advice and how bitter they are, because most women that have gone through the Tinder phase have been alpha widowed by multiple dudes, it's done for the nice guy. There is no filling those shoes up. She got a 10-inch long. She got a dude with 10 figs. She got flown out everywhere. She got a taste of maybe some blue check mark here and there off Tinder and Instagram somewhere. If she's even remotely attractive, what the chance do you got? And you want to satisfy her for a lifelong, long-term family building kind of scenario? Please, dude.
$10 a day, and that's where I'm going to find my spouse. That is the part I have a problem with, because then it becomes very predatory, very creepy, and just kind of inappropriate. But again, when you throw in the financial inequity and the patriarchal system of preying under both youth as well as this gender disparity and the privilege that comes with that.
Again, all she talks about is privilege, gender disparity, gender studies bullshit she learned from college, absolutely useless shit to a man, hasn't talked about kids 1 second, hasn't talked about building up her man, hasn't talked about teamwork and legacy together, being his piece, the most important thing when he comes home to a quote happy home. None of that, dude.
I am not with it. I'm not with it.
Okay, lady, it's great that you have more money than God and your biggest struggle is choosing which high-end resort to meet men at. But stop for just a second and listen to what else you just said. Women in your country don't respect men that aren't doing well. So what's a man supposed to do when he's not dripping $100 bills from every orifice in his body? How lucky for you that you can go hobnob with the rich and famous. But you do know not everyone's as fortunate as you, right? You say that people should find someone on their own economic level. But if a man who's not doing well isn't wanted there, what's he supposed to do? Just give up because Western women aren't interested in the contents of his wallet? Or maybe they can find a place where women won't reject them for their lack of resources, like the Philippines. What's wrong with that? It's amazing that when you find your level, it's just fine. But when a man does the same thing, it's creepy, predatory, and inappropriate. And of course, it somehow involves the dreaded patriarchy. But even when all your arguments have been thoroughly destroyed, you've still got your favorite go-to tactic: anger.
Well, f*** you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want if you're not satisfied. I don't know what to tell you. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
Triggered immediately. Well, F you then. Just go overseas. We don't need you. Whatever. Bye, loser. You see the anger? Do you see that?
Yeah, I saw it, Bo. I saw it. But there's also some good news for the passport bros. Some Western women actually get...
Eric, thanks, brother. The menstrual mafia has to have control over everything, so if they can't keep a man, they collect dogs and cats. Yeesh.
Get it, like this classy lady.
Why are you mad because men are choosing to go out of the country, passport bros, and use their passports to get women that are feminine, fit, beautiful, inspiring, kind, cooperative, and submissive? Women that have traditional values. Why are you mad about that? Here's the thing, the passport movement, passport bros, this is not a new concept. Men in the military, guess what? Many of them have wives that they met outside the country, okay? Yep. So this is not a new concept. And you know what else? My son-in-law is actually half Filipino. That's right, his mom's from the Philippines and his daddy is Black. It's not a new concept, y'all.
And for the final clip of the day, let's hear from a little fireball named Didi to give us the big picture.
Well, I'm just curious as to why so many modern women are confused as to why men are leaving. Why we have the passport bros and men who are deciding to look for women elsewhere. And some of them seem so oblivious to the point where they really don't get it. Men are looking for traditional women. And most men have always wanted traditional women. But because modern women were taught to go to school, get their education. They were never taught to prioritize marriage, a man, or relationships. They were taught to go to school, get an education, take care of yourself because you don't need a man. Live your life, have your fun in your 20s. Fast forward, here we are. We have a world full of modern women who are independent entrepreneurs, boss chicks. They don't need no man, right? But for a lot of these
Time out. We do not have a bunch of independent boss chicks. Let's be honest here. What you have is an invisible employee in this megalith of a company that doesn't know your name or your face. You're 6 bosses removed from the CEO, if not more. You're like a typing monkey in a little cubicle. You do not have a career. Most don't have a career. You have just a job. And for the few that have a career, a minimal amount will probably make it to a position within the company where they can control the direction. Think about it. What boss? The word boss is a projection. It's like slave babe, corporate slave babe is really what they should be called. IRS tax slave. Come on, man.
This entrepreneur, boss chick, independent woman lifestyle is not working out the way they plan. Because when you choose that means you may not ever have that family structure, that home, that 2-parent home. The majority of these women become single mothers because
boss babes of Altimas and bald tires and oil changes that haven't been done.
During that, have your fun in your 20s stage. And then when they hit their 30s and 40s, they were not prepared for that because nobody told you what hitting the wall looks like. You were never taught how to be in a relationship. You were never taught how to treat a man, how to love a man. Also, going forward, we really need to stop trying to shame men into accepting something that they just don't want. And women have to accept the fact that, hey, we've been taught wrong. We've been sold a certain set of rules, and a lot of women ran with it. And now it's the very thing that's holding them back from getting or achieving the things that they say they want.
Yep, that about sums it up. And if you'll humor me, I have a couple final comments of my own. It's highly insulting when people claim that we Filipinas are uneducated, don't speak well, are desperate, and just a slave to a Western man's money. Is it true that we see passport bros as an upgrade to our situation? Of course we do, but so what? Isn't that the same thing you look for in a man, to find someone that makes more money than you do? So why are you bashing us for doing the same thing? Seems a little hypocritical to me. But does it mean we're only looking for money with no love involved? Well, let me ask you the same question. When a Western woman rejects a man who doesn't earn enough, and you do it all the time, does that mean that all you wanted was his money? And the thing you really don't seem to get is that the men who come here aren't choosing underage girls or women from the slums that literally are desperate. They're mostly pairing up with average Filipinas. The beaten down, miserable woman who sold her soul just to get a meal. That pathetic Filipina you seem to have stuck in your heads. She's the exception, not the rule. Well, thanks for joining me. And I'll be back on Friday with an interview you won't want to miss. Till then, folks.
Another dope video. So that was Filipina P. Subscribe, guys. Show her some love. Also, the full live stream will be on Locals, guys, if you miss anything.